A wise man once told this: I have the choice to be angry at God for what I don't have, or be thankful for what I do have. We humans have a general tendency to complain about the things that we don't have. Some people enjoy complaining as much as they enjoy doing nothing about it. In a world like this, where we search reasons for failure in external factors rather than in ourselves, there was a young person whose life taught me some beautiful lessons. Let's listen to his story. From his childhood, he was born lacking something that many of us can't imagine living without. He could not even see his mother's face clearly, as God took away his vision from one eye, and the other he had left him just enough to live by. The beautiful nature and life that we can happily see was just a dream for him. To make life interesting, he was born into a family where his dad was a farmer. It was a joint family and around 12 members were already living in that house. Ironically, in a world where food is the most important factor that all need to survive, the farmers who produces it are the ones who has to face poverty. Life was still not kind to him. Even though it was not his fault that he was born like that, he was constantly teased by his friends and other people. Every single teasing felt like a knife being penetrated in his heart. There were days where he sat alone and cried, but that did not change his fortune. He took all his courage and accepted the reality and decided to not let it stop him from achieving his dreams. Being a farmer's kid, there is always a limitation for even seeing your own dream. But his dad gave him confidence and told him to pursue his dream of being an engineer. His dad and uncle took loan from the people around, as bank never gave farmers much loan. With that, he and his brother started studying hard to achieve their passion. He joined a coaching institute for prepping for entrance exams. This was the first time that he ever moved out of his house. His dad somehow made arrangements for the money, but he knew things were bad at home. They might be starving some days so that he can attend classes. Even he tried to make the best out of his situation. He only had enough to have a meal per day. The pain of hunger did not defeat him as he sat through the night to crack the exam, because deep down he knew that he was the only ray of hope that the family had. When the results came, he not only cleared but was the 27th rank holder and earned his right in the most prestigious institution one could only dream of getting in. The young boy from the village has now set foot in the IIT Madras campus to pursue mechanical engineering. Little did he know how his life was going to change from there. His eyesight still gave him troubles, and like a cherry on the cake, he failed in the English paper. Coming from a very low background, English was something that was beyond his reach. But he came to know about the remedial classes and joined it, and that's where he met his English teacher. That ma'am immediately found out that this kid was special among the lot. He had to put his nose down to see what he was writing. Seeing he was a brilliant student, that ma'am decided to help him out of pure love. He was already taken to many places, but his vision did not improve. All the doctors had only one answer: sorry. He was tired of hearing this, so when ma'am told him that she will take him to a new place, he was not very hopeful. Ma'am got in touch with a famous doctor and took an appointment. She was having high hopes, but even that doctor shook her head in disappointment. When they got in the car, he told ma'am something that broke her heart. Ma'am, I want to see this world. She could have got him anything else: good food, books, good job, but this wish of his was beyond her. She felt so helpless and tears rolled down her face in sadness. She was not ready to give up. She had contacts in a reputed hospital by the name Agarwal's Hospital. They asked her to bring him. So again, with his parents' permission, she took him to this hospital. All the doctors who examined him were in a shock to see how a guy with such a condition cracked a seat in IIT. They said they could do a surgery, but that comes with a price, and they could not give any guarantee. It was a big gamble that ma'am had to take. One side, her sister and friends scolded her for doing all this. They asked her, "Can't you just be a normal English teacher?" On the other side, she could still hear the words that he told her. Ma'am, I want to see this world. If things went bad after surgery, the whole world will turn against her and she can't live with that guilt. She prayed really hard and took a decision to go ahead with the surgery. IIT department came up to the rescue as they agreed to fund his operation as they knew he couldn't bear the expense. They extended every bit of help that was possible. Finally, the nervous day arrived and he was shifted into the operation theatre. Heartbeats started skyrocketing and tears of hope kept on flowing. After the surgery was done, he was taken back to his hostel room. On the way, he vomited many times and he was in a lot of pain. For a second, ma'am realized the gravity of the situation. What if her decision was wrong? Why did she have to put him through all this pain? But the poor guy never said a word against ma'am. Days went by and he was in severe pain and discomfort. Finally, the day arrived when the doctors were going to remove his patch to test his eyesight. Everybody who knew the boy did not stop their prayers. Ma'am was almost on the verge of an emotional breakdown. The suspense of not knowing what is going to happen made everyone nervous, including the doctors. Just before they stepped out of the hospital lift, he held his ma'am's hand and told her, "Ma'am, everything is going to be alright." When the first doctor unwrapped his patch, everything was pitch black for him. They gave him some eye drops, but still the empty vast black ocean kept flowing. First doctor came and examined him and didn't say a word. The second doctor came in and he too didn't have anything to say. He was asked to read the letters on the board, but the poor fellow could only see a blurred figure. Everybody's hope was shattered. Somewhere they all believed a miracle would happen. Somewhere they believed that this guy would beat all the impossibilities, but there is a limit to what science can do. Just when they were ready to discharge him, he shouted in joy, "Ma'am, I can finally see you." Screams of happiness bursted out in that hospital. Every single one of them cried in joy. They couldn't believe it. A miracle indeed had happened. After 19 years, Ashish could finally see. He could finally experience the world around him. He appreciated the value of what he got, unlike others who still doesn't know the worth of what they have. The story of the miracle boy topped the headlines, but none of them knew his struggles. Ashish is now working in Indian Oil Corporation with a great salary. He has repaid all his loans and even started rebuilding his own house. He has indeed held up his family's faith in him. He still helps the needy in whatever way he can. He gives them clothes and food in coordination with his group, as he knows the pain of hunger better than anyone. His story is really an eye-opener to everyone out there. You might have a lot of money, a great car to even come to the class, and a great family status. You will have everything that others might dream about. But if you don't work hard, then you will fail. And you will fail miserably. It's not our disabilities that defines us. It's how we respond to it that makes the whole difference. If you don't like something, then change it. If you can't change it, then change your attitude. As you breathe right now, another person takes their last breath. Stop complaining and learn to live your life with what you have and make your life beautiful.